Buongiorno, buon popolo. This week, in the press and social media, we have begun to witness political disagreement over the latest measures prompted by the pandemic, and unease, for example, by some leaders of northern urban areas about the economic consequences of business curfews and restrictions on social gathering. And now, if we live in an area of high or extremely high risk, even limitations on travel to other parts of the UK. Just as the coronavirus has been a pressure test on our personal lives and our church community, so also it has been a severe test of the social bonds that unite us as citizens of Newcastle, of the northeast of England and of the United Kingdom. At the same time, the Brexit negotiations grind on with few glimmers of real optimism. And this week, I read an impassioned appeal by the leader of an indigenous tribe in the Amazon, reminding the international community of our failure to restrain our abusive nature by the industrial and agricultural practices driven by overconsumption. COVID-19 is a real illness with potentially severe consequences for anyone who contracts it, but it also reveals other sickness and malaise in our societies. This weekend we celebrate St. Luke, evangelist and physician, and in the beautiful words of his collect we thank God for the medicine of the gospel. The words of God are indeed balm for a troubled soul, healing for broken hearts, and a therapeutic programme for a good life. St. Luke's account of Jesus in the Gospel and of the first Christians in the Acts of the Apostles puts great emphasis on the fact that the protagonists were led by the Holy Spirit. Those of us who are baptised and who profess the Christian faith share in our life together in discerning the prompting of the Holy Spirit in our own lives and in the life of our church, let alone also of our local, national and international communities. God does not pull strings in human affairs. Rather, God invites, encourages and challenges us in so many and various ways. And the task of the religious life is to discern what God is calling us to do. Next week, on Sunday the 25th of October, we will hold our annual meeting, delayed since April because of the virus, but an opportunity to celebrate 2019 at St. Francis Church, and my profound conviction that in spite of the deprivations of the current time, we are building on a good foundation for development and growth. Thank you to everyone who has contributed to our Gift Day appeal and to help us make up the budget shortfall for this year. We're still accepting gifts before we announce the final tally next weekend, so if you haven't managed to contribute yet, it's not too late. Meanwhile, the builders have finished the gallery and baptistry project, and we appealed for help this Sunday, any time after 12:30 p.m, for people to bring their own buckets, mops, cloths and dusters, and help us put all the ornaments, furniture and decorations back into the church. Please don't forget to bring face coverings if you're working indoors, and if you'd rather work outdoors, we've got some gardening chores that also need doing. So please come and help if you can. This will be just in time for Nora Tempest's funeral on Monday, and for James and Rachel's wedding next Saturday, and for our return to worship in church next Sunday. Because our meeting next Sunday will be on Zoom at 11 o'clock, our in-person service will be at 9 o'clock. You can book a place as usual by contacting Yvette. This is an immensely hopeful next step for our church, and as we begin to plan events and services into November and December and the new year, I hope you will join with me in giving thanks to God for his blessings and praying for his continued blessings on our endeavours, which have at their heart the gospel, which St. Luke proclaimed, to know Jesus Christ and to be known by him, which is our salvation, that is, healing for our souls.